welcome back to another UML operator episode. And we're in this series on PlantUML. And so far, we've installed and deployed PlantUML into our integrated development environment. We've learned about class diagrams and how to extend them to things like stereotypes and more. We've talked about use cases. And in our last episode, we started mixing our class elements with our use case elements in order to complete a solution approach model. And of course, the reporting documentation that goes with it. Now, to validate our use cases and scenarios, we want to have activity diagrams filled with lots of actions that validate what we're trying to accomplish. And in a later episode, we're going to get into sequence diagrams, but our focus in today's episode is on activity diagrams in PlantUML, a text-based modeling tool. So let's get started. All right, so we've created a PUML file for this demonstration, and we've already brought in our use case that we're focused on with the steps we're going to use for the activity diagram. And then we added a second diagram in this file, and we have given it a unique name in the file, and we've given it a title. Our focus is on use case 01. This is a login scenario, and we went ahead and added in our content block to explain what we're going to do in this diagram. So an activity diagram starts with a start, and it ends with a stop. And so you can see here that we have a start element and we have a stop element, and then we've got a flow that has been started between these two keywords. Now, an activity diagram is the entire diagram, and it is filled with actions. And to start an action, we have a colon, which kicks it off. Now, we haven't done anything yet. We're already getting an error up here. That's okay. We're not worried about it. And this is going to be step one, because step one is login screen. And what we're going to do is just type in freestyle present login screen. Let's put a space in there, make it readable. And then you end the line with a semicolon. All right. And then you can see over in the diagram, we have our first action within this activity diagram. So for those that are new to UML, I want to explain the difference between activities versus actions. And in PlantUML activity diagrams, the terms activity and action come from UML semantics. But PlantUML itself mostly abstracts this distinction. So understanding the conceptual difference is key. And action is the smallest executable unit in an activity diagram. And this represents a single step or operation, and it cannot be broken down further. In other words, it's atomic. Whereas an activity is a larger behavior made up of multiple actions, and we just have one here. And it can contain actions, control flows, decisions, parallel processing, and even a little bit more. And this represents a process or workflow. So we basically think it's a collection of steps, and we're going to add in some more actions next. Before we add in our next action, let's put a note on this particular action, and we're going to go note left. And then if you recall from the previous episodes, you add a note in an activity diagram. You're going to set the format like this, and then you end note. So note left, and you can already start to see a note forming to the left of this action. And then we're basically can type in anything we want, but between the note start keyword and the end note keyword. Let's go ahead and add our next action. We start with a colon. We type in enter username and password, which is the next step. And then remember, we close with a semicolon. And then we start with a colon for the next one. And we basically say submit credentials, or whatever that next step is. Now you'll notice that it's now drawing the actions and it's connecting them in a flow based on the order. Now on this first one here, I put step 1 and I want to add a note in here. So enter UID and password is step 2, and then submit credentials is step 3. I just want to do it that way. It's optional, you don't have to, but I want to follow the steps that we have in our use case for our scenarios, because we may find missing steps or errors or want to make changes to another version of the use case scenario as we're working through the activity diagram to validate our use case scenario. Now in this summary level activity diagram, what I want to do is add in a note left of submit. Let's go note left, enter, and then end note. We get that while I'm talking here. And then in between it, I want to explain, because this is summary level in more details, what this means. It's important to understand that when we're submitting credentials, there's 3 retries before login failure. And then we're going to lock the account and we're going to notify or message the customer or user. So adding notes is very important. Just make sure that you're keeping them small so you do not pollute your diagram and create eye charts. Now in scenarios, it's very important to have alternate paths and exception handling in case something happens. So we want to add in an alternate path here in this diagram. So let me scroll down here to more center this. And to do this, we're going to add an if, then, and then we're going to else, if then else clause. All right. And in between that, what we want to do, we got an error right now because PlantUML is saying, what are you doing? We want to put in the exception that's taking place or alternate path that we've added here. So we've got an extension around step 3, submitting credentials. Well, what if they're not authenticated or authorized to manage their account? So what we want to do here is back down into the if then else clause is we want to start with an open parentheses. And then in between these, this is step 3. We could go 3A, but I'm going to go step 3. Credentials valid? Question mark. And if yes, then go down to step 4. In other words, proceed. So in this case, we're going to go in a little bit, indent in a little bit, start with a colon. Now we're allowing them to go to step 4, display access granted, or just go ahead and send them through. And then we're going to close with a semicolon. Now, following step 4, we have here page redirect. So what we'll do is add in another action that's following step 4, closing with a semicolon. But let's get to the else part here. And else is basically no. And then what I want to do is increment. I'm just going to put ++ for increment. You could just leave it no if you wanted to. We are going to indent a little bit here, colon 3A, and then we're going to display access denied, close quotation, and of course, close with a semicolon. So now we've added in another flow, but you can see this activity diagram is going to the stop, which is the next event here, and we need to properly close this. However, if you remember, we said 3 attempts here. So we're incrementing right here, and what we want to do is we want to add another if then else loop. So if, and then in between parentheses, we're going to put retry attempts left, and then we're going to basically set it to 3 within logic. Yes, let's cap that. Yes, then we're going to go down here. We're going to add a note right. Let me indent in a little bit. Note right of, and then underneath note right of less than or equal to 3 attempts. And then hit close, line break or enter and note. And now we've added in a note here to start talking about or having this conversation about retrying. But you can see the diagram is starting to get a little bit wonky here. And that's because we have not completed our code yet. Yes, wonky is a technical term. What I want to do here next is add in, okay, well, what follows this? To save time here, I've gone ahead and created the actions. Display, please try again. User re-enters credentials. And then what we're going to do is, let's go indent it in a little bit here. We're going to put in a flow, and then we're going to use open bracket. It immediately creates the close bracket, back to validation. And then after the closing bracket, submit, and then credentials with a semicolon. So let's go back out, zoom out here. You can start to see that we're getting a flow in the attempts. It's still not right. We need to, finish clearing out or closing our code right here. So what we need to do next is, let me go in a little bit underneath this if statement here and put in an else no, right? We're going to basically indent in about the same amount of spaces, open colon, display, and then access failed. And then I want to put in a dash, and I want to put in a line break. You learned that. That's going to be /n for a line break. Account locked, then another line break, because I don't want this to become an eye chart here, or max attempt, something like that, reached, closing semicolon, right? So what I'm seeing right now is display, and then it is basically access failed. And then it's allowing this action to have some custom content in here before we reach a stop. In this if then else, we're going to put in a stop. All right, we're going to go in a little bit here, and if to close this if statement right up here, and then we're going to hit enter, and then go and close the first and if, the first if statement, right? Now you can see our model is starting to show a flow here that helps the user understand, well, what's taking place from start to end, right? Then we have an end here. Hey, they've reached their limit, they're locked out. And this action, you could further explain if you wanted to or needed to, and we'll do that in another episode. I'm trying to keep this video as short as possible. So when I'm talking about a more complex and complete model, it may end up looking something like this, which is going to take a lot more time. So this will be a separate episode, but this is basically similar activities, but starting to show more around the access to the products and services and manager, which is a complete view of what the project is about. We're getting into loops and forking and more complex activity diagram, action diagram modeling. So I'll cover this material in a separate episode. So similar, doing the same thing. We're explaining both use cases, and we're creating a complete activity diagram to explain how these two use case scenarios come together. So we'll cover that in another episode. All right, we're going to wrap up now. I hope this episode was helpful for you. It gets started in PlantUML and activity diagrams. I was trying to keep it simple as possible. Originally, it was a very simple use case model, just explaining 4 steps. And what I wanted to do for the exception handling here, or alternate flows, is I just wanted to do something a little more complicated to help us get started. And in a later episode, we'll get into that more complex model that shows how you basically do your concept of operations in a single model activity diagram before completing your concept of operations or solution approach. In the next episode, we're going to be getting into sequence diagrams. And the sequence diagrams, like activity diagrams, are very important in validating your scenarios, your architecture, especially your flows. So I look forward to getting into that episode with you. So we're progressing pretty good in this series. We have a lot more to do. I basically want to complete a concept of operations or solution approach, same thing that we did in Spark's Enterprise Architect. As we're moving forward, before we get into comparing Sparks with PlantUML and when to use either one of them, what are the best cases for using various modeling tools. And then we're going to be adding in Draw.io into our modeling tool repertoire as we're going forward. So really look forward to jumping into this fun stuff. And until that next episode, happy modeling.